Yo, what's going on, family? It's your boy MC Fire coming at you again with another video. We are hitting it again with Fireside trades, baby. I'm loving it. This is my most favorite time of the day. Video time, looking at charts, looking at trading, not taking any prisoners, testing out the new system. Absolutely loving that. Probably the next video will be how many steps on the journey we are. Just absolutely crushing the new trading system. Yesterday was profitable, today was profitable, and today we might even actually show you that it was not only profitable but profitable, and we didn't even know what direction that the market was actually go. Like, we had an idea where it was going to stop. If you watched yesterday's video, you kind of knew that, or even the day before yesterday's video, you know that how we kind of look at the market. It's got like one of three things it can do: up, down, or sideways, and the eventuality in setting that up for up, down, or sideways. So let's get into it. Woo! All right. What's up, guys? Yeah, so right here, clocking in at XLC, watching the market actually take a poop. So even on the day for XLC, it was really, really rough. And what you'll notice is that you could kind of see this stuff coming with the bar chart here. I'm going to bring up the sector chart and how powerful this kind of really is in giving you a heads up on what's a dub, what's not, what's rotating, what's not. So we'll bring that up here. Sorry about the ad. We'll remove that. So yeah, long story short, your communication sector, right? If you see everything else kind of rotating to the upside and then you still see one sector going down, watch out for weakness. Just be mindful that there could be weakness in the market, and that's something you just have to be cognizant of. Is, hey, that trade is showing, or that sector is showing some weakness, so just be mindful. The other sector that I'm watching is obviously the info and tech sector that had a pretty sharp spike back to the upside, but everything else, watch it. It's kind of either curtailing or kind of slowly curling. So it could be potentially another tech run after the pullback. That's what we would hope, right? We would hope that we get a nice little tech run after the pullback. But there's something just to watch out for. I love coming to this site, and for those who aren't tracking, for Thursday, let me refresh this because it's more towards the end of the day. There you go. So unemployment claims, right? Actually had positive unemployment claims. All I look at is this number green or red? If it is green, that's good. So unemployment claims mean that, hey, are people working? Is the economy strong? That's really the number one determinant for the Fed. Is the economy strong? Are people able to keep jobs? If you guys don't really realize that the high inflationary period is still a great opportunity for you guys to be making money, because if you can survive in a high inflationary period for businesses, if inflation or interest rates come down, then, or inflation stays high and you can survive, or interest rates stay high and you can survive, that's good for businesses. So just watch the winners here, and be mindful that there's might be some companies that are looking, what does Warren Buffett say? When the tide goes out, you can see who's swimming naked. That's kind of what it is. The tide is slowly going out, and we're seeing who did not set up their business properly, and it's going to get destroyed. So yeah, that's that. So let's take a look at the charts. Yeah, XLC absolutely getting clobbered today. And on the weekly, I would say that if you were looking for a sell signal, it definitely happened within this week for sure. But I wouldn't be looking for a sell signal in XLC. Speaking of which, let's go to XLK, the tech sector. It looks very, very similar to the triple K. And that's because if we are taking a look at the fundamentals, right, the fundamentals are basically going to say the weighting is almost identical. And it's doing its load. It's doing its loading thing. Okay, well, maybe it won't pull up for us, but let's go XLK. Boom. As an ETF, right? Microsoft, Apple, Nvidia, Broadcom, and then you got Salesforce, AMD, right? So keep that in mind, right? Keep that. I'm gonna also bring up the other item, okay, for you guys, because this is key. If you notice, we try to pull it up with the we try to pull it up with Thinkorswim, the QQQ, right? But we couldn't get anything, couldn't get any hits, right? DB, cool, 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 bam. So if you can't find it necessarily on Thinkorswim, you can go to literally ETFDB, go to QQQ. You could find what it's holding. So you go to the holdings tab, and you can kind of see the same holdings are there, right? Microsoft, Apple, Nvidia, Microsoft, Amazon, Meta, Broadcom, Google, right? Some of the same names. That's primarily why they look kind of the same if you didn't know. But I was really kind of showcasing this as a tool for you guys. This as a tool is a way where you can do research where other tools like Thinkorswim, which you would think could do it, might not necessarily do it because it's not, specifically an ETF or whatever. But this is labeled as an ETF, right? So it's just one of those things that you can have a workaround. Again, that tool is free. I didn't pay any extra money for it. There's no subscription or anything like that. You just go to etfdb.com, look it up, boom, there it is. You can do all kinds of research, finding out what's what. If you have Thinkorswim, that's kind of done for you. So if we come here, these will populate XLV, right? You just see the holdings. You kind of know who the main players are and what's going on. I think there might even be a way to set up this as a heat map. I'll show you guys how to do that, how to take a quick snapshot of finding out who are the overall outperformers, and I'll set that up for the next video. Does SCHD do that? Nope. XLK does though. Well, bam. Right. So if it begins with an X, it's okay to flex on Thinkorswim, right? No bars. But we have XLRE, and for real estate, what I really want to hone in on is O, right? We are a big fan of O. It's looking like a whole snack. We really, again, this is not financial advice. This is really for educational purposes. I have to say that because some people will say, yeah, this guy told me to go out and buy O. He's not a financial expert. Body slam him. Again, you invest at your own risk. But what we're doing is basically a vlog kind of showing you what we like to do, and education to kind of show you guys what we've learned and how it might or might not apply to you. So O definitely was a buy trigger here. Actually printed a green little candle for our handy dandy chart here tool. And also the trend went green on the weekly, excuse me. So that means if we're looking at it, nice juicy 15-minute, well, no squeeze here. No squeeze on O, but you're seeing a nice juicy rotation. So if we can break that rotation, right, that'll be super, super cool, right? Coming into this level in the low side, testing the lows, kind of, we'll set one right here, boom. Right, so this nice smaller rotation, and they kind of widen it out, increase the volatility, but it's still rotational. That's why we have an alert here. If it breaks highs, we're looking this high here because it's rotational. We're looking to buy. So that's why it's not necessarily a buy immediately, because it's in rotation, and you'd probably just go from fair value to value area high or resistance, whatever. We're looking for it to break that and potentially go trend till we can have more meat on the bone, maybe end up here or even continuing on. It is a buy and hold, so it would be, I just want to see it break the rotation to get that immediate gratification. We love it, right? And then you got, so another juicy nugget here is Bitcoin. This is a Bitcoin ETF. But I think you wanted to just go BTC, I think you could just literally get rid of the G and go BTC. No, you can't do that. Okay. Like I said, I really look at it from the ETF standpoint. So I don't really buy Bitcoin from the wallet. But for those of you who do, shout out to you. You guys are making an absolute killing. But we do have some Bitcoin in the Bitcoin ETF. Kind of got a buy trigger way late, but it was still in an uptrend. So we were like, okay, we might as well buy. So we bought here, we bought here, really here the second, or in here. We got here, here, and here, all the way up, right? The initial buy was here, but after the second pullback and we saw that it was going to continue up, but on buy trigger, it was a great time to pull the trigger. Some people had counted out, I know we're an accountability group, and some people had counted out Bitcoin and thought it was way too risky, but it's speculative. So if you're worried about risk, you need to average down, or not average down, you need to scale down your size, and just keep in mind that your size is what's going to keep your emotions in check, believe it or not. And it's going to also keep the fluctuations in your P&L curve and your volatility down. So that's the thing, is if you are good and you're already working with leverage instruments, there is no need, or excuse me, if you have the edge and you're already using leverage instruments, there's no necessarily a need for you to take these extravagant trades. Some people do, like if you have a trade that has super conviction, some people will take that trade. With our new system that we're running, there's no need to. And we'll showcase that now. So we took a trade on XSP, based off of XSP is kind of based off of the SPY, which is based off the ES futures. So if we go look right at what price action we had coming into this, it was kind of pretty obvious the day before. I told you guys that the price action can only do one of three things, right? It can go up to fair value, which it did. It could test the low or test the high. We anticipated, as it came in yesterday, that it was going to, it already kind of didn't break high and continue. It wasn't printing market orders up here at the top of the range. It kind of slumped, failed to test even the previous high. Again, second failed to test the previous high. It's probably going to test the low or the support. It did. But then if you notice pre-market, right? Pre-market, if you can see that it's constantly testing the low, constantly building market orders, it has the potential to go imbalance, which it did pre-market. But from there, right, once you have broken and you've tested fair value, remember this is a support zone here. We'll back out and show you that, right? This yellow line right here is kind of where this is at. So it's kind of an intermediary stop. It's like a hazard zone. Hey, heads up, this is going on. The full rotation is down here. And so we were like, okay, if it went down between this hazard zone and this fair value level, let's just call that an intermediate fair value. Okay, so you have a gap on the board. The gap goes from here and it kind of opened around this area, right? 499.22, something like that. So if it opens here, the potential for it to fill the gap is actually pretty high, only because you have a gap on the board. Now, what happens during a gap? It's very crucial. You can look this up all on YouTube online, but I'm going to explain it briefly. Imagine if you were a put seller and overnight, like say you got in up here, right? You thought the market was going to go down. You thought the market was going to go down, right? Now you see this and you're like, oh snap, this market might not go down, right? And then you see this, boom. You're like, okay, awesome. It's going down. Then it goes back up. So you're kind of getting shaken. And you're like, okay, I'll hold on to a little bit because it hasn't really broken highs. And then you see this big drop pre-market, right? At that point, you've had basically a day where it's went sideways, giving you some, but you weren't able to take major profits. And then the next day, it dropped significantly, and you were able to capitalize on it on the open. A lot of people are going to take that and run with it. So if you're in a put position, what do you have to do? If you're a seller of if you borrowed something and then sold it on the open market, remember, you have to pay that back to whoever you borrowed it from. That's how puts work. That's how short selling works. I'm borrowing your shares to sell it on the open market at a high price with the hopes that it drops in price. I buy it back from the fair market, pocket the difference, and give you back your share. Okay. So if that happens, that means at some point at this low price, people are going to be looking to buy the shares. So not only are people that see value that, hey, this is SPY, it's in demand, it's in demand. So because it's in demand, I might want to buy it while it's cheap, right? While it's approaching a resistance level or support level. And the people that made money on the way down, they're going to be looking to get out of their positions for a speculative profit. Bringing in this, which, you can call it what you want. I saw it as a gamma squeeze. Some people call it a gamma squeeze. But can't necessarily prove that without cumulative delta or basically having that data internals readily available to you. So if you have that, my partner just walked in the door, so it's awesome. If you have that data, I can't prove it without the data, but that's my guess, is you had a big sell-off, gamma squeeze, huge rally, and it's wanting to kind of fill this gap, which it does fill the gap. So good news for us, right? Now how that plays into our trade, okay? We made the play for both directions, and I will show that here. We'll actually show you that in the plays, we made a put fly and a call fly. Here's your put fly, missing a leg, so we added an extra leg. And then here's a call fly. So we put on both trades. Both trades cost about 22, 21 bucks, but the call fly ended up making $100, meaning we profited 60 bucks on this trade, and we didn't even know direction. I want to make that abundantly clear. I got Ungston, right, as it was coming down, right. I had the original play was the call fly. The original play was the call fly up here. Let me actually go to XSP because I think I have the kind of brackets here. Yeah, there it is. So the original play was this call fly here. And then as it started to break the low, we were like, okay, let's put in a put fly because they're cheap. They're mad cheap. Might as well just put one in. I think my total allotted trade for a day is like 40 bucks for a 4 wide. So we had a 4 wide at the top for 20 bucks and we had a 4 wide at the bottom for 20 bucks. Great deal, right? And so it met all my characteristics and I got a double chance to hit it. It actually ended up going up here, which gave us that $100. We exited it expeditiously. I put a trailing stop in and it got triggered almost immediately, but it went up and it went up again, and then it expired. So the cool part is we made money even though we weren't exactly sure the direction. Because as it was coming down and at this wick, I put in the put. This is what most people would do, right? Most people would put in a put trade or a downward play move. It broke the low, kind of retested on this candle. It's gonna fall more, right? On the contrary, I got played, but because we have an asymmetric approach, the win rate doesn't matter. It's that fact that we made, we still profited, which is crazy to me. We still profited over 100% on we placed 2 trades and still were able to accomplish our mission, which is end up with a profitable trade and come out with actual revenue or actual profit of 60 bucks on that trade. Mind blowing. I'm totally impressed with the system of 0DTE trading and trading with this advanced butterfly strategy. I really have to get good at explaining it so I can start making videos for you guys, but I'm floored. If you can not know direction and still be profitable, man, this is going to be awesome. Now, of course, you're manipulating it a little bit because you ideally you want to pick a direction and that go your direction, because you still cut down on the risk. 60 profit could have ended up being $80 in profit, right, from a $20 trade. So you got spend $20 to make $80, guys. I don't. Everything's scalable, right? So I'll give you. Let's see if we can do this for you, just for shizzles, right? Let's say, for example, you get funded, because this is where my mind's going. Let's say you get funded, keep to the same rules. You're given a $100,000 account, use $10,000 of it for potential trading risk, divide that by 8. Hey Google, what is 10,000 divided by 8?
10,000 divided by 8 is 1,250.
So each trade potentially is going to be 1,250 in total value for you not to be in danger of failure, right? So let's look at the risk to reward for a trade that is 1250 in analysis. Let's go do analysis on SPY. Let's do trade. And let's say, for example, just for shizzles, we will do a 4 wide here on the buy side for puts, just for shizzles, right? We will go buy, we will go 4 wide, deep and wide for butterfly. Boom, right? Now, the cost right now is 33 cents, 33 bucks essentially. So how many of these can we buy? Let's just say we get this many, right? How much is that? Like, how much can we potentially lose? We can go to the analyze tab. Let's just say we put in that many. Let's go analyze trade. Let's go risk profile. Okay. So just on the trade alone, right? This is giving you the blue line down, the turquoise blue down at the bottom. It's giving you the potential loss. So with all those contracts, you only have $396 that you could potentially lose in this trade. But if it goes your direction, you get a whopping $4,000. If it, of course, pins, right? But the potential to make profit, even with the curve that it has, right? Even if you get close, right? You're able to get like $428 with non-intrinsic value, basically time value, which is going to be way more than you paid the 396. So already, even if it gets close, you're getting 100% return on investment if it's close. That's wild to me, right? And you still, of course, the account size is fully towards, that trade, but just think about that. If you have a trade and we didn't even go all the way, like we didn't even do the full amount. Actually, here, take this off. Can we add more maybe? Let's get to that full play there. $1,000. Still not quite there. Almost there. Okay, so this is about close enough. Remember, it's $12.50 maximum allowable trade. So if you, let's say, do all those butterflies on this trade, you would lose around, total loss would be around $9.90, but max gain if it pins is just crazy, right? You're looking at $10,000. $10,000, 10 to 1 if it pins. 10,000 to 1. I'm pretty sure that's where we're trying to get to, right? If you can get $10,000 in a trade, that's life-changing for a lot of people. That would be life-changing for me. And we're new on this journey, and that's where we're kind of trying to get to. So our plan this year is still a goal of mine, it's still a goal of Q's, get funded, start an online e-commerce business, start a consulting business with trading, doing this, right? Complete our fire number, do all that stuff, go travel the world, give you guys awesome content, and vlog it the whole time. And you guys are seeing it from the beginning. This is what we're trying to get to. You see it's possible, you see it's real. If you get funded, most people are looking at giving you a $100,000, $50,000 account. Even if you divide that by 10, $100,000 divided by 10 is, most drawdowns are like 10%. So the max you can lose is 10,000, and you divide that by 8. Each trade is going to be 1,200. Look at this. This is wild. If you're seeing this, hit in the comment. That's wild for me. And leave a comment, subscribe, do it, all that good jazz. But that's the power of this, man. This is unreal. This is how hedge funds make money day in and day out. And I want to be a part of that. I really do want to be a part of it. So if you guys are liking what you've seen, and you're hoping that we get funded, you're hoping to see a success on our get funded journey, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. We really want to make this a reality, and we will do it. So thank you guys. Have a great day. It's date night, so we're about to dive in, but you guys have a great day. Peace. This is your boy MC Fire. Peace.